Over the last few years, Himachal Pradesh has quietly emerged as one of India's most compelling public education stories, demonstrating that sustained reform, empowered educators, and outcome-led governance can create measurable change at scale. At the center of this transformation has been a renewed focus on learning outcomes, stronger academic systems, and a willingness to experiment beyond traditional education models. The state's strong performance in national assessments, including PARAKH, reflects not only academic progress, but a broader shift towards evidence-based decision-making, teacher empowerment, and student-centric learning. As State Project Director, Samagra Shiksha Himachal Pradesh, Rajesh Sharma, IFS, has been closely associated with this journey, supporting initiatives that place classrooms, teachers, and students at the heart of reform. Under the vision and support of the government of Himachal Pradesh, the education ecosystem in the state has increasingly expanded beyond infrastructure to focus on learning quality, school leadership, future readiness, and student participation. From strengthening teacher and principal competencies through institutional platforms, to introducing innovative interventions such as gamified assessments, AI-enabled career exploration, and enabling student expression through initiatives like edskExpress in collaboration with Samagra Shiksha, Deep Spatial, and the Indian Express, Himachal is attempting to redefine what public education can look like. In this conversation, Rajesh Sharma shares his perspective on learning outcomes, the future of assessments, the evolving role of teachers, and why the next chapter of education must move from access to aspiration, and from schooling to student agency.
Hi, I'm Shivangi from edskExpress, and today we are privileged to have with us Shri Rajesh Sharma, Sir, IFS State Project Director, Samagra Shiksha Himachal Pradesh. Thank you for your time, sir. So my first question for you is, Himachal Pradesh remarkable improvement in PARAKH NAS outcome has attracted national attention. What changed on the ground beyond the rankings?
Shivangi, thank you very much for asking this question. I mean, you talked about PARAKH. PARAKH has really brought the glory and the lost pride which Himachal used to see in early 2000. We were one of those states which were always leading state in the country. But in 21 survey of that time they used to call it NAS, now they call it PARAKH. We lost that thing and we went to the 21st position when it comes to the primary, elementary and the secondary school education. But PARAKH last year has brought the laurel back to the state in the sense that they actually assessed us for 3 classes. They assessed us for foundational education for class 2nd. They assessed us for class 6th when it comes to elementary, and then they assessed us for standard 9th when it comes to the secondary education, right, or higher education, what you call. We were second, beating Kerala when it comes to the foundational part, and we stood second in the nation. In 6th grade, what you call elementary education, there we stood if you talk of state, then we were at 3rd position, I think, or 4th position. And if you take the the union territory and the state put together, we were at the 5th rank. And in 9th we stood at 4th rank. So this is how bouncing back from the 21st rank to the first 5 rank positions, and in foundational we stood second in the country, which was a matter of celebration for the state of Himachal. And I dedicate this entire success to our policy makers at the top, which includes Honorable Chief Minister, Education Minister, the Secretary, and also at the school level, it is the hard work of those teachers who actually got it done.
Thank you, sir. My second question for you is, Going from a lower national position to becoming one of the leading state is not accidental. So what were the three interventions made the biggest difference?
So what we did was, and we were trying to see what made us to go so down. When 2021 PARAKH, the NAS happened, and we were 21st position at that point of time. So we tried to figure out the reasons for that. So one of the reasons was very prominent, apart from certain structural changes in the policy, in terms of the fragmentations of education at the elementary level and at the higher level. Those were the fundamental policy, reasons that cause fragmentations when it comes to the implementations of various policies of the government, because these three wings were headed by at least by the two directors. The director higher education, who looks after from class 9th to university, and the elementary director used to see it from 1st to 8th standard. So it was fragmented, it was divided. So that was one of the root cause we thought that can be. So that was a policy correction and the structural change which the government thought of bringing. So that is probably has worked well, but it came quite late, so we can't attribute the entire thing to this. But then what we try to figure out that the questionnaires which are generally being asked by Government of India in PARAKH are competence-based questions, and our traditional learning and the traditional assessment is based on the rote learning. So there was a shift, but the shift brought a lot of challenges. You can't do assessment one day or few days from rote learning assessment to the competence-based assessments. That requires a rigorous kind of a trainings to the teacher. So their way of asking questions based on the competence, require a huge training to all the teachers across first standard to the 12th standard. So that was the first challenge. The second challenge, how to attend these questions by student when it comes to actual in the classroom, because they do it on OMR sheets. So that means what? That means the students require a lot of practices. So what we did was, we, along with the convergenius group, we did SLAS, what you call state level achievement survey, and that is a regular feature for Samagra Himachal now. And that brought a lot of practice on ground to the students, to the teacher, and then we quickly assess those first, second and third. So 3 SLAS in between the final PARAKH came from Government of India, and this 3 across all the schools in Himachal was not easy. Technology has helped us, where when we went to the schools, we gave them OMR sheet, we redesigned question based on competence, and we went through all these schools. And then their answer sheets were assessed through technology. The results were quick, and the first result was not far betterment than the PARAKH 21 or the NAS 21, but there was a little improvement, and there was definite a ray of hope. So that also gave us understanding that what areas we require improvement. Again, we go for the SLAS2. And then we did in between we did again training to the teacher. We went to the student, we actually gave 0 hours in the school for getting the teachers trained, and also for students to cope up with these gaps between what they actually face as a part of assessment and what PARAKH used to ask. And luckily that has clicked. Second assessment / exam has shown us much improvement, and before we went to the final approval, again we did the same. We got the results, we tried to figure out the gaps, try to bridge up those gaps before we went for the third SLAS, and the third SLAS has given us a very progressive improvement in their achievements or the learning outcomes. And that made we were very hopeful, but we kept our finger crossed, and then PARAKH opened, and then the day came when we were with full of cheers when the PARAKH 24 was announced.
Thank you, sir. And my third question for you would be, India is increasingly moving towards competency-based learning. So how is Himachal preparing schools and teachers for this shift?
So I have already given the answer in the question second, that the slash is the key. But what now we are doing, because that was a bit of slogging, we had a very little time in between. Now we are thoroughly looking at the processes which we followed at that time, because when you do slogging, that means there are a lot of gaps again. So now we are actually examining the processes followed in the slash, and we want to fix the gaps in the processes of the slash and the kind of improvements we can bring. Another program is the LEP, which we are doing in the what you call the learning enhancement program of the students. And the third is the PAL, which is personalized adaptive learning, which is going to be I think a game changer for the students of Himachal, where all the students across all the grades and the classes will be assessed, and then after with the technology we will come to know where they stand subject wise, grade wise and the class wise. And once that is done, we try to attend those gaps through the technology, bring them to the level they are actually they are studying in, and that is a personal adaptive notebook is given to every student. So teacher know this student has a problem in mathematics in standard 4, he can't handle the maths of second standard. So to bring him into the 4th standard, we have those PAL labs established across, and that they can sit on those PALs, with the help of the teachers, and the technology can bring them to the level 4 after certain time. So the teacher knows, because it's difficult for any teacher of a class 40 that which student is at what level. So the technology can help you. Technology can also help you to bring them better. So we have established various labs across all the schools now, and those labs are now helping us on PAL and also LEP as well.
Thank you, sir. My next question for you is, the launch and institutional encouragement around edskExpress signaled a new direction. Students as creators and storytellers, not just learners. So what excited you about this idea?
Well, this idea was not purely mine. Actually thought of, we had a series of discussion before we actually got into this idea, and we were trying to figure out how this idea is going to help our students. With the help of the major players at that point of time, we had a discussion with them, and this Deep Spatial was one of the company which was working with us on this area, and it was realized that these boys in the rural schools, and probably you understand that out of those 14,000 plus schools we have in the Himachal, being a hilly state, most of the terrains and these schools are the part of the rural background or the rural area. So we thought that these boys have an immense potential. They may not be in a position to express themselves so well, but still they are full of ideas, they are full of thoughts. They are they think about few things in and around. But I personally thought that giving them some kind of a platform, and that came from you guys, I mean the Deep Spatial, and then hand holding was must. What is this program all about? and handholding of all these students and the teachers across was done. When they started knowing what is going to be it is going to be like, we got it inaugurated by the Honorable Chief Minister and Honorable Education Minister, and it was rolled on in Himachal at that point of time. Is, I think, probably 1 year has gone so far.
Yeah, 8th
And
August.
how many months?
8th August.
8th August. So it's
Almost a year.
almost. So I feel this has shown and given very good results. Why I feel, because I don't get much of time, but being a part of that group, WhatsApp group, those stories and things are coming to me, and I really get delighted when a boy or girl of a 4th standard or 5th standard are, expressing themselves very good. That does not even, it's just not an expression of their thoughts, but it is also they improve upon the languages in which they express it, particularly the English. Many of them are actually writing it in English, and I feel that these boys and girls with not a great schooling, at least on English, they are expressing themselves so well. So I'm glad, and I think I would love to support this program for coming years. Let's see how it goes.
Thank you. And my next question for you would be, what would success for edXpress look like after 1 year?
It's great. As I said, that it's absolutely great, because these boys and girls, the way they have expressed themselves through storytellings, through their surroundings, about the history of the school, about their parenting, about the social problems in and around them, about gender issues, or many a time they're talking on the policies. So that gives me immense pleasure. I mean, it is something which has really helped our students.
Thank you. My next question is, what has been your biggest learning while leading Samagra Shiksha in Himachal Pradesh?
That's tough one. I mean, the biggest learning is in Himachal, because Himachal was not that difficult. As I said, in 2000s, we were doing very good. There was a dip. So the biggest challenge for me to really figure out what really went wrong in these 10-20 years, which brought us so down. So that was the challenge for me when I joined, that we really need to, unless until we really are not in a position to figure out the root causes of those dip, how can we improve? So those challenges were there. Or structural challenges, as I said, in the policies were there. But I'm thankful to the government that structural changes were fixed. We were also, lot of statistics being analyzed over the period. The Vidya Samiksha Kendra came in a very right time, which provides you not only the statistics across all the schools about teachers, about dropout, about PTR, about the resources, but it also gives us the samiksha of that as the Vidya Samiksha Kendra. That means it helps us in analyzing things, and that has helped to figure out what were the problems, and thankfully we could fix it at a very right time. So that's my challenge, but now is a part of solution, I think.
Thank you, sir. And now we'll have a very quick rapid fire with you, sir.
I'll try.
Okay. So my first question is, one education reform you wish India adopts faster?
Create resilience among all the students of Himachal government.
Okay. One skill every student should develop?
I think any skill along with their studies will be great.
One leadership lesson from Himachal?
You really need to be the voice for all the teachers and for all the students.
Okay. Books, data, or conversation, what shapes your thinking the most?
The empirical statistics, of course, come from the book, but then when you read to analyze it, it needs discussion, it needs kind of conversations.
Your message to government school students.
My message to government school: you are great. You are no less than the private schools across. Today I was in the Tutu school at PM Shri school, and these boys and girls were full of energy, full of confidence. That confidence which was missing maybe a few years back, that is there. The kind of energy they are and the confidence they have really exhibited, not only in terms of their studies but in cultural, in kind of these girls on the ramp, I saw them walking and they were full of confidence. That shows there's no difference between them and others, which we think there is a divide. But I think the government school, these guys are doing great. I wish them great luck, and you are the strength for the state of Himachal. You are the leaders of this state to come, time to come, and I'm sure you are not going to let down the state.
Okay. And lastly, your message for Deep Spatial and edskExpress.
My message to be there, keep doing our handholding of these students, and our partnership with you, I'm sure it will go a long way.
Okay, thank you, sir. And my last message my last question would be, when students from Himachal look back 10 years from now, what do you hope they will say changed because of the education reform of this decade?
They'll say that, yes, I want to dedicate it to all the teachers. It's a teacher's hard work with ultimately at the last, I'll say it is the teacher and the student interaction which either make it or break it. So they will see that the teacher's hard work has really made it.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time.